Hello guys, this is Push Dustin with Source Game, and joining me today is jedisquidward.
Hello everyone, it's great to be back on again.
Yeah, he joined us for the snake discussion as he wrote a couple of guest articles on Source Gaming.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun.
So it's good to have you back, and today we'll be discussing if Wolf has a chance in Smash. Now, quite infamously, we came out at the tail end of DLC and said Wolf has no chance of coming into this game. And a lot of people were upset with us, but it ended up being true.
Made one certain guile-haired YouTuber very sad. But I hope that a certain body part of his is still intact. But
I don't think he had a nutty sandwich.
Yeah. Let that show. He's a charlatan, Etika. If you're watching this, I'm calling you out. No, we all love Etika here.
No, mad props to Etika.
Yeah, of course,
he's a great guy.
All the time. But yeah, it stinks. It's really odd when there's a character. Look,
it hurts.
Yeah, it does. But it seemed like Wolf especially was along the lines of Lucas. Like, as much as I love Snake and all those other characters, like, if Lucas wasn't in the game, like through DLC thing, I would have felt like there would have been a huge thing lost. And really, it's the same way with Wolf in a lot of ways, because Wolf is the fact that he's not a super special character. Like, he doesn't have anything technical like the Ice Climbers, or he doesn't have any other outside complications like Snake, and he's not like a really obscure kind of character like Squirtle or Ivysaur. Like, the fact that he's so plain and it would have fit so much to have him in is what punctuates and makes it so odd that he's not in.
Yeah, and in fact, a lot of people were thinking that things were in the favor for him because of Star Fox Zero coming out, and then also the fact that he's a semi-clone, so that he's a little bit easier to make than a full-fledged new character.
Well, aren't they able to port the movesets over from Brawl and Smash 4?
Yeah. There's some evidence that they ported. Well, of course, when they first started the game, they ported Brawl to the 3DS and the Wii U, and then they built the game system off of that. Yes. Sakurai quite infamously said he created all the characters from scratch. Maybe he went back to the drawing boards and was like started to reevaluate and everything, but I'm sure a lot of similarities exist.
Yeah. He went back to the drawing board and then coincidentally decided to keep most of them, for the most part, the same.
Let's keep it the same.
Yeah, let's keep it the same, you know. Yeah. Wolf. Now, what did you think of Wolf in Brawl? Like, what did you think of his moveset? How much did you use him? How good were you with him? Were you a fan of him?
Of the three species, I actually preferred him.
Yeah, me too. I like Wolf a lot, but he's one of those characters that I don't do super well with, even though I do like him. And I think a lot of it is just because of the weight that he has, and his movement is just a little weird. The properties on him are a little weird, but then again, that's why I like him, because he's the villain and he's heavy, but he's heavy for the Star Fox characters. So like he's still relatively fast.
Yeah, he kind of reminded me in a lot of ways of Wario.
Oh yeah,
and that's why I liked him. I liked his side B where it went slightly up.
Oh yes, that's perfect, because they made it so that if you hit, I think with the final hit, it would do like a straight spike down or a meteor down, since it was Smash Bros. Brawl. It was it was really good. I know
it just felt really good to connect those moves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they put a lot of freeze frames on him too, I believe, which was another contributor to it. And I believe he was also one of the last characters that they developed for the game.
Yep.
And you can
That's why he wasn't part of the story.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. You can see in his animations they're just a little bit jittery compared to some of the other characters, you know? Wouldn't you agree?
And if you go onto the cutting room floor, you can see that he was built off of Fox, possibly, because he has some animations, cut animations that are very similar to Fox's.
Definitely. I think. Never mind. I think we'll cut out what I just said.
Sakurai said in I believe Nintendo Dream We translated it as Sakurai answers old questions about Brawl on the site. He said that the reason that he chose like Wolf over Crystal, for example, is that Wolf was a character that that was like 30% complete, and then he'd only have to work on the 70% to complete him.
Yeah,
and that's why he was a little bit easier, and that's why he was chosen at the tail end of development, possibly after the second time that Brawl was delayed.
Yeah, that's a good thing, and that's kind of, it's controversial opinion, but that's kind of just on a personal regard why I think it's a little weird when people suggest new Star Fox characters, just because in my mind, those three, the fact that they have similar movesets and they've all got the same kind of base skeleton a little bit, it seems weird that they would ever make a deviation from that, because I think they just set the standards so well with all three of those.
Yeah. Yeah, in Star Fox, I think because of, the nature of the game, the characters, like Crystal could be very, very unique, obviously, because of the
sphere. Yeah, of course. And if they
and the
put
magic.
a new Star Fox character in it, I wouldn't be opposed. I'd love it. I'd love to see a new Star Fox character. Yeah. I'd love to see any new character get in.
But if you're talking about the main crew, then I think it would kind of be based off of that moveset, with maybe the exception of Slippy, who could use more gadgets and stuff like that.
Just the other day, I was thinking of like a fake, like Brawl hack version of Peppy Hair, just so I could, take the excuse to think of like more variations for their moves, like, oh, the side B, it doesn't have a hitbox, but it makes you invincible, and oh, the up B, you can charge it like Diddy Kong or something like that.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on to the Switch, there are still rumors that the Smasher Switch is coming, and a lot of people are expecting it, especially with the Amiibo information that came out very recently, or I think it was the CISPA, is that correct? The
CPSIA or something like that. It's funny that sorry to go on a little bit of a tangent here, but that's the second time I've just barely forgotten what exactly it is. I hope my guess was correct, because recently I did the same thing, because we were going over bureaucracies and we had to come up in a class, and we had to come up with the acronyms for all of them, and there was like they were going over like products, and I thought it was CPSIA or whatever it's called. So it's funny that you brought that up again.
Yeah. Anyway, it's some sort of electronics regulation in the United States, right?
Yes.
Like they deal with frequencies, I believe.
Of course.
And so Nintendo needs to register their Amiibo line with them. And there's 2 new Amiibo in addition to the 3 in the Smash Brothers lineup. And so that leads to people believe that the port that has been rumored is coming soon, or is going to be announced soon.
It has to be, like, if there's not a new Nintendo Direct between now and 3 months from now, which I kind of doubt there will be, it's going to be something at E3.
I really think it's going to be E3.
I don't know how big of an announcement it's going to be. Granted, like, it is Smash Bros, and there's like at least one new character. People go crazy over new Smash Bros characters, but yeah, like that was the thing that Nintendo like made their final card at E3 2013, and then like they centered pretty much all of 2014 around it too, Smash Bros.
Yep.
And good. They should just center everything around Smash Bros. That would be my ideal world.
Smash has always been announced at E3.
Definitely.
We'll see. I think Wolf has a pretty good shot in coming in on Smash the Switch.
I think so too. It really does bring up, it's a little weird, a little concerning that they had those product descriptions, and assuming that the other the other 3 are the DLC characters, which realistically, why wouldn't they be? It does seem a little weird that there would be only one new character. Like, I'll take it, of course. I won't say no to a new character, but it does seem just a little weird that there's just one. Because I know I don't want to make poor Sakurai have to work forever, but I want new characters to work forever.
2.
Wait, there are 2?
I might be mistaken.
I saw I saw something on the Smash Bros Reddit this morning, like, oh, new listing confirmed, but then when I checked it, it seemed like it was the same number as before, so maybe it was just an old report or something like that. But if there's two, that's great. If there's only one, either way, it's a little odd. Ideally, I think this game should have, if they put characters in it, I think 4 new characters would be perfect, and it would be my personal choice: Inklings, Ice Climbers, Wolf, and Snake. I think those 3 are like the most realistic ones that you could expect, the most likely ones to get in. Because in Smash Bros, they're not going to always, a lot of people who want characters, they're not going to always answer like your far out requests and things like that. But what the fans want that are like pretty reasonable, they generally give it to them. It might take 7 years, you know. A lot of people were talking about Cloud wanting Cloud to be in Brawl, but they're listening. It just might take them a little while.
No, I just checked it. You're correct. It's 4 Smash Amiibo.
Oh, good. Well,
so it could just be an additional Corrin.
I really don't see the base for that rumor. Granted,
it's not rumor, it's just speculation.
The speculation, rumor, whatever it may be. Speculation is the correct word, but I don't completely see the base for that. I understand that there were 2 variations of Rob released, but that's because in Japan, the red Famicom Rob was the default costume. In the US, the white-gray one was the default costume, and that was just... They made 2 separate versions, and then they released them both internationally to the other country later on. I don't think that the female Corrin is default in either of them. I don't see...
Well, I will point one thing.
Yeah?
Fire Emblem is on a huge revival by Nintendo.
That's true.
And they could make 2 amiibo for the Fire Emblem series and incorporate them in the other Fire Emblem games.
I think that could definitely work out. That could definitely be a possibility. I'm surprised there hasn't been a Fire Emblem series of amiibo yet. For a second, in my mind when you were talking about it, I thought there was. Like, I imagined there was. Without actually imagining it, just thinking, oh yeah, that's the thing that there is. But no, they don't have it yet, which is very odd. They've been really going on with that franchise a lot lately, so they should...
With the 3DS game, I believe there's amiibo, 1 or 2 that are coming with the game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I forgot about that. But I'm surprised they haven't made it like a full range, because they've been really banking on that franchise in recent years.
Yeah. Like, Zelda has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13, 14. 14 amiibo already.
14. Goodness gracious.
And then there's 2 that are data mined from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. So,
Anyway, let's get back on to Wolf. Really depends on if Sakurai's working on the game or not, and that's something that we've discussed in the past. I think that when Sakurai chooses characters, he tries to pick characters that are unique or fill some sort of requirement, and that's why he picked Lucas and Roy, is because he had the representative from Melee, he had the representative of Brawl. Mewtwo was already planned from the beginning. And he's always referred to Mewtwo as a fan favorite.
Oh, definitely.
Instead of being a Melee revival.
Yeah, definitely. Now, the thing that this brings up is Sakurai's philosophy of if a character gets in, they have to be unique. They have to bring something new to the game. I wonder if this applies to veteran characters as well. Or if this is just the thought process he has when creating a new character, or if it applies to adding in characters as well, because based on the fact that pretty much all of the old characters are in Smash 4, clones and all, I don't think he takes that into consideration as much when it comes to veteran characters. But the fact that it's DLC and it was previously not in the game, I do definitely see the justification and the logic that people have in that.
Well, I think there's a lot of ways that characters can be unique. And one of the ways that Wolf is really unique is just through his personality, through his actions, through his history, and kind of like the way that he moves and the way that he stands.
Oh yeah,
he hunches over.
He's got some really creative animations. They gave them very creative animations for the game. They said, you know what? If people are gonna be mad if we have another character that's like Fox or Falco, just make them like at least look really different, like look really cool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only thing I was upset about, and I was upset that they continued this with Smash for Wii U and 3DS.
I know what you're gonna say already.
The Landmaster.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That
just like Falco, come on.
He says, I heard a theory once. The explanation for why he says I prefer the air. He says I prefer the air. He was basically I prefer the air, but for right now I'll have to deal with this. Falco, you had 6 years, okay? You had 6 years to change to the air. You don't still need to have a Landmaster.
Yeah, Kirby got an upgrade. What?
That's true, that's true. Honestly, like, if that Melee adventure stage the adventure stage from Melee where you fight Fox and then you fight Fox again, or I think maybe Falco if you unlock him, and you've got all the ships flying around, they've got, they had all the ships in at once. Like, if they just made that, like, a powered up version of that as Final Smash, like, that'd pretty much be perfect.
Yeah, like if they called in support.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But I think it might be a little bit difficult to program because of the stages. I don't know.
Yeah, they could
actually
do
no, that's not true.
Like Pit's Final Smash from Smash Bros. Brawl.
Yeah, exactly. They could do something like that.
They could have a still image of a giant peppy hair, and then he would send in a lot of like little ships, and they would do barely any damage and knockback.
Do you have any other thoughts that you'd like to talk about Wolf and Switch before we wrap this up?
I hope they bring back his white and red color.
Yeah. That was actually my favorite as well.
Oh, no way. That was super cool. And I like the dark blue one.
Yeah, that was alright. I usually went red or white or the default.
Yeah, in Project M they changed it to white and gold. So before I said that, I paused for a second thinking, wait, which one was the official one?
Yeah. Okay, well, I think this wraps our discussion. I think this wraps up our discussion today. So, jedisquidward, where can people find you? People
can find me on Twitter, and I'm jedisquidward on everything. Just search me up on everything. I love to play Project M. I love to play Smash 4. I love to play Marvel 3, a new game I've been getting into recently. I love it a lot. Just find me on anything, talk to me on anything. I'll do whatever. I have no standards.
No standards, huh?
That's why I write for Source Gaming.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm Push Dustin. You can find me on this channel. You can also find me on just by searching Push Dustin on Google, and I'll pop up. I hope to see you guys soon.
Yep, we'll see ya.